Hello everyone. In this video we will look about recursion. So first of all, what is a recursion? A function calls itself is known as recursion. That means all of you know how to call a method, how we will define a method and how we will call, is it? A method calls in another method. That is different. And here recursion means a method calls itself. So a method calls itself is known as recursion. A function calling itself is known as recursive function. And two types of recursions are there, direct recursion and indirect recursion. Direct recursion means a function calls itself directly from within its body. Here an example, void recur of. So this is the method. In this method again it calls the same method. That is the function recur calls itself. That is known as a recursion and it is direct recursion. Void recur of. So it calls again the same. Recur of. Second one is the indirect recursion. Functions calls another function which calls its caller function from within its body. An example here. So A is the function. In this A function, we are just calling the B function. And in the B function, we are calling A function. So this is known as indirect recursion. Okay. So first of all, we are just defining a method. Inside that method, we are calling the second method, and in the second method, we are calling the first method. Then it is the indirect recursion. So mostly we are using direct recursion. Direct recursion types questions are there for 5-mark questions. Not only for 5-mark questions, in that programming section, using the methods and constructor, using recursive function, you have to write it. Instead of iterative process, we have to use the recursive method. So the next one, when we are writing a recursive function, it has two cases. One is the base case, another one is the recursive case. Base cases are otherwise known as stopping cases. The name itself, it is indicating it is a stopping case. So it represents a pre-known case whose solution is also pre-known. That means any condition where a recursive method doesn't invoke itself. That base case causes the recursion to end. When we are explaining the programs, you can easily understand what is base case. So base case means it is stopping case. It causes the recursion to end. And it represents a pre-known case whose solution is also pre-known. And it doesn't invoke itself. So that case is known as base case. Second one is the recursive case. That is an inductive case. So general case of problem which is being solved again and again it's called. That is known as the recursive case. So now you know what is a recursion, what is a recursive function and what are the types, and in that recursive function there are two cases, base case and recursive case. Next, just look the difference between iteration and recursion. Iteration means code is executed repeatedly using the same memory space. That is, the memory space is allotted once is used for each pass of the loop. It makes the code longer, but in the case of recursion, since it involves function call at each step function calling, is it? Yes, fresh memory is allocated for each recursive call. So recursion is slower than the iteration due to overhead of multiple function calls and maintaining a stack for it. Just in the recursive call, it will maintain a stack in the memory like this. Okay. In the iteration cases, it will use the same memory space. Which memory space is allotted? This one is using. Example, I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5. These all conditions we are checking in the same memory space. But in the case of recursion, it's allotting some space. Each time the fresh memory is allocated for each recursive calls and maintaining a stack of it. It makes the code shorter. Recursive is shorter, iteration code is longer. Then in the time, recursion is lower than the iteration due to multiple function calls. So these are the main difference between iteration and recursion. The next one is infinite recursion. Infinite recursion means when a recursive function executes itself again and again endlessly. This happens when either the base case is missing or it is not reachable. In that case, it is known as infinite recursion. Okay, these are the different terms indicating in the recursion. Let's see how we will write the factorial concept in recursive method. You know how to write in iterative processes. Factorial in the sense, if example 3 factorial means how will you write 3 factorial, 3 into 2 into 1, or you can write 1 into 2 into 3. This is factorial. If it is 5 factorial means how will you write 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. That is, from this we can understand we are starting the value from 1 and ends with the given value. Is it? N. The given value, what is the value we are passing? That one. So as per this condition, we have to write a code for iterative means each time the values are increasing. First 1, starting with 1, then it is increasing by 1, 2, 3, 4 till n. So how we will write? We can write that iterative concept in teacher. Here I am just declaring a I value, then I less than or equal to n, and this is a 5, I plus plus. In for loop I am just writing, you can write in while or do while also. Then inside this we need to consider a factorial variable. A variable we need to consider. Then only each time, example 5 factorial, first it has to calculate like 1, then second it has to calculate 1 into that given value. What is the actual value? This has to be multiplied with the 2 and we are getting 2. Is it? Again this 2 should be, this is a, so consider this is an x or y variable, and this y variable, each time these values are using, is it? That's why we are just considering in a variable fact, just to declare it as not declaration, initialize factorial equal to 1. Okay, factorial equal to fact into I. Fact into I. This is the concept for factorial in that iterative process. Iterative means looping process. Then you can print the value of fact. Is it? This is the concept of the factorial segment, factorial concept in iterative process. Then how we will write this concept in the recursive. So what is recursion? A function call itself. Example, B is the function we are writing, whether this void or any return type, open the braces, again we are calling the B in the same method, that is known as recursive. This is known as recursive concept. So how will you write? The factorial. In the case of factorial, we have a condition 2 factorial, 1 into 2. You know that rule 0 factorial is equal to 1. 1 factorial is also 1. So we can give this as a base case. 0 factorial or 1 factorial. So how we will write? If, okay, just write the method factorial of fact of. So here we need to pass the values. We need to find the value that I am just giving as a int a. And you know factorial belongs to which data return type, because each time the values is returning 2, 3 like that. So we can write that is an integer return. Integer fact of int a, open the braces, then we are checking the condition. What is the base case or what is the condition? 0 factorial equal to 1 and 1 factorial equal to 1. Both are equal to 1. Okay, otherwise we can write a double equal to 0. If a double equal to 0 means what value it has to return? A is equal to 0 means what is the value? 0 factorial equal to 1. So it has to return the value as 1. Okay. Else, if more than 0, the value is greater than 0, then what we have to do? Okay, 0 is okay, and then given value is 2. Then how it has to calculate? 2 into 2 minus 1 factorial, is it? Yes. So how we will call? Just to call the same method. So what is the value? Return a into fact of, what is the method? Fact. Yeah, that method again we are calling fact of a minus, fact of a minus 1, semicolon. So this is the recursive concepts. You can see here method name is fact of int a, and inside this we are again calling this fact of one value we are passing, fact of a minus 1. Instead of a minus 1, one parameter, integer parameter we are passing, is it? Yes. So this is the concept of recursive. That means this is known as the base case. So recursive function has two cases. One is the base case, another one is the recursive function. So which one is the base case? If a equal to 0, return 1. That means by using this one, it's stopped that particular method. That's why it is the base case, and it is not invoking by itself. So which one is invoking itself? Fact of a minus 1. This fact of a minus 1 is this part is known as the recursive part. It is known as the recursive case, because each time till a equal to 0, each time the value method is calls itself. Method fact of an integer value is calling itself. So this is the recursive case, and the above, if a equal to 0, return 1, that is the base case. So in this condition, 0 factorial is also 1, 1 factorial is also 1. So how we can modify this also? A equal to 0, instead of a equal to 0, we can write a less than or equal to 1. Can we write? Yes, both are the both condition is true, is it? A less than or equal to 1, then return 1. That means 1 or 0 means it has to return 1, else it has to go to that a into fact of a minus 1 recursive function. Okay, let's check an example. Here the class name is mystery. Inside this mystery class, we have written one method public void runoff. In this method, declared a variable result and called a method known as fact of 4. We are passing a value 4. So run is a method. It calls fact method. It calls fact. And next one, this is over. Run is finished. The next one is a fact. Just now we have discussed about how we will find the factorial concept. If n equal to 1. Previous we discussed n equal to 0 or n less than or equal to 1, is it? Yeah, 0 factorial is also 1 and 1 factorial is also 1. So instead of going to n equal to 0 or n less than or equal to 1, we can directly give a condition like n equal to 1. So just we are writing n equal to 1. If it is 1 means 1 factorial, all of you know 1 factorial equal to 1. So it should return 1. Else, consider else, that is 2 is the value we have given, means what it has to do? The value into fact of n minus 1. Is it fact of 2 minus 1? So n into fact of n minus 1. This is the concept of factorial value. Otherwise, we can tell that is a product also, is it? Till 4 means 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So product of the numbers. So here we have finished the factorial. Next, in the main method, I have created an object, and using the object I just access the which method? Run method. In this run we have called factorial method. So how the execution, how it will execute. Let's see. So this fact is a recursive method, because inside this method we are calling again the fact of n minus 1 or again the fact of a parameter. That's why this is the recursive concept. This is the recursive concept. So let's see how the program works. So when the program when we execute, first the execution starts from the main method. All of you know that Java program, the main method execution starts, and it will create an object m. It has created an object. Then next step, m dot run off. That means m dot run off means, sorry, m dot run off, m is the object and we are just accessing the method run, m dot run. So this compiler will go here, find out where is the run definition. Yes, it's here, and it will find next int result equal to, it need to assign int result equal to, it has called another method that is of integer return type fact of 4. Fact of 4 value we have passed it. So now it will find where is this fact definition. Yes, so wherever we have defined the fact definition, it will go here and do that process. What is that fact of? So till it finish that factorial value, it will suspend the execution of run method. Is it? It will stop the execution of run method, and it comes to the fact method, and this fact method we are just passing fact equal fact of 4, fact of 4, and it will check the condition n less than, or sorry, here n equal to 1. It's, yeah, this one you can do, no problem, n less than or equal to 1, that is also reads. So fact equal fact of 4, and yes, it is not less than or equal to 1, so it will go to the else part. Here else part, what we have to do, else part return, what it has to return, n means 4 into fact of n minus 1, n minus 1 means 4 minus 1, that is the 3, is it? So again it will stuck fact of 3, again the compiler finds this is a same method, it calls again fact of 3, so it can't execute this entire value, entire statement, it will come again fact of 3, again where it will come the same value. So fact of 3. So first of all, we are creating an object and calling a method run. We start with the main method, which creates an object m of the class mystery type and invokes through it in the run method. And the run immediately invokes which method? Fact method. And we are passing a parameter of 4. And this run method will temporarily suspend until the invocation of fact of 4 completes. And this is the first one, is it? In the second process or second step, fact of 4. In this definition, it will check the else part is okay. So return 4 into fact of 3. That means with the parameter variable n having the value 4 as assigned, we run through fact method. Since it is in the else part, it has to return what value? Return 4 into fact of 3. So we find that means we temporarily suspend our work until this recursive invocation completes. Which recursive invocation? Fact 3 should be complete. Until that, these all are suspended. That means return 4 into. These all suspended, temporarily suspended, and it will until this fact 3 should be finished. So next one is the fact 3. In this fact 3 again, it's in the else part, return 3 into fact of 2. So which one is suspending, temporarily suspending the values as? Return 3. Till here it is suspending, and again it will execute. It will find the fact of 2. Fact of 2 means fact of 2. It returns return 2 into fact of 1. So here, to easy way to exit, or we can no need to go to that fact of 0, because we know fact of 0 and fact of 1 is equal to 1, both are same. There is no change for the value of 0. That's why here you can give n equal to 1. If you are giving n less than or equal to 1 means once more it will go back to 0th value. So here itself we can finish return 2 into fact of 1. So it comes to the base case, n equal to 1, return 1. This is the base case. You know that base case means it should stop that recursive method. It will exit from there. So, yeah, so fact of 1 equal to, what is the value of fact of 1? 1. So here it will comes back. The control will comes back. That means fact of 1 has given the value as 1 by, because the condition, if condition turns out to be true, and it has given returned the value 1. So which fact of 1 has finished, isn't it? Complete invocation has finished and it has the value 1. Now we can write return for the same, return 2 into 1 equal to, what is the value? 2. So fact of 2 having which value? You know that fact of 2 having the value 2. Fact of 2 having the value 2. And we had previously suspended the invocation of fact of 2, is it? Until fact of 1 should be completed. Until fact of 1 completed, we have previously temporarily suspended fact of 2. So it has now finished, and so we pick up where we left off at return here. That means fact of 2 is completed and it having the value 2. So the control will go back here, fact of 2, and it will give the value return. You're not writing return each time, just writing 3 into fact of 2 equal to 2. So that is the value of this one. 3 into 2 equal to 6. Now you know fact of 3 is equal to 6, is it? Yes. Again we will go back this control, fact of return 4 into fact of 3 equal to 6. So 6 into 4 equal to 24. And this 24 will pass to which variable? This 24 will pass to result, and in this run method, result is under the run method. In this run method, it will print the final value as result, that is the value 24. So this is the concept of recursion, how it will work. Okay. So in this base case, in this recursive method, this is the base case and this one is the recursive case. Base case means when its parameter, factorial of n, when its parameter is equal to 1, the method simply returns immediately without any recursive invocation. So any condition where a recursive method doesn't invoke itself is known as the base case. Okay. In executing a program, the computer creates what is called program stack. To understand the stack, we have stack and queue in data structure. Stack and queue are data structures. Stack follow the concept of LIFO. That means last in, first out. Last in, first out. That is stack. Second one is the queue. Queue, you know, all of you know how to be in the queue, is it? Yes, that is first in, first out. The person who goes first will come out first. That is a concept of queue. But in the case of stack, last in, first out. That is the concept. So in executing a program, the computer creates a program stack, and the program stack is a stack of frames. It contains stack of frames, each frame corresponding to a method invocation. Just to consider this way, we will draw the stack. This is a bottom, and these are the frames. One on each method invocation, it will create each frames. Okay. So here in this program, we have created the main method. Using the object, we are accessing the method run. So what is the first one? The program pushes a frame corresponding to an invocation run. Which method? Run method. In this run method, all of you know, in the run method, we have a variable. The next step, the first one is the variable result equal to fact of 4. And in this result, we are calling another method. So result is all in the same frame. And next, fact of 4 is it? Next method, on each method invocation, each frame will updated or each frame will added. That is pushes a frame. Fact of 4. In this fact of 4, you know the condition. Fact of 4 means it comes as the else part, return n into fact of n minus 1. So how it will be? 4 into fact of n minus 4. Sorry, n minus 1, that is 3. Here again a method, is it? So again a new frame will be pushed. That is fact of 3 will be there. And how it will be there? Answer, return 3 into fact of 2. Again fact of 2 is a method invocation. So again a new frame, fact of 2, that is 2 into, here I am just writing a general formula, n into fact of n minus 1. Then you don't get confused out of this, okay? General formula. Fact of 2 equal to 2 means it returns 2 into fact of 2 minus 1, that is the 1. Again a method, fact of 1, is it? It will push a new frame, fact of 1. Push means adding new frames, that is known as pushing. Some operations are there in stack pushing, popping. Push means add the value, pop means delete the value. So here push a frame means we will add a frame. It's fact of 1. Now it comes as the base case. Fact of 1 equal to 1 returns 1. So here, what is the value it will return? It returns the value as 1. So fact of 1 returns 1, and this is the last one, is it? Last data that we entered, and it comes out first, is it? That is the concept of LIFO. Last in, first out. Added in last frame and giving the output from this last as first one. So this is the concept of LIFO, and fact of 1 equal to 1. So this one, at all times the computer works on executing whichever method is at the stack's top. So stack's top is fact of 1. But when there is a method invocation, computer creates a new frame and places it atop the stack. That you know, whenever a method invocation is there, it will place a new frame at the top. When the method at the stack's top returns, that is, which one is the stack top here? Fact of 1. When it finishes that computation, it returns a value, is it? Yeah, by the base case concept, it will return a value. The computer removes that method frame from the stack top. So if we are getting this fact 1 value, final value, that is fact 1 is finished, means it will remove this top frame from this stack and resumes and returns the value, resumes its work on the method now on the frame's top. So here we got the values 1 and removing from the, now we are getting the value 1 and removing from the stack. Actually, so what is the value of fact 1? It is getting us 1. So how we will write? We can write 2 into fact 1 is equal to 1. So now we got the values 2. And fact 2 is also finished, is it? Yes. This fact 2 will pass to which one? This fact 2 gives the values 2. So how we will write? 3 into fact 2. 3 into 2 equal to 6. And this 6 belongs to, 6 means fact 3 equal to 6, is it? That fact 3. It will come here and the stack will remove that particular frame that finished. Then how we will write? 4 into 6 equal to 24. So this 24 will pass to the result, because in this result we are passing the calling statement, fact of 4, is it? Yes, fact of 4 is also finished here. So how it will be there? Run of, in the run method, we have a variable result. In this result, what is the final answer we got? That is 24. And it will display as 24. Okay, this is the way of recursion process. Okay, in a simple way, just what we have to do, we have to draw a stack. On each method invocation, computer added or pushes a frame. Computer creates a new frame and places it atop the stack. When the method at the stack's top returns, the computer removes the method's frame from the stack's top and resumes its work on the method now on the frame's top. So just to draw the stack, here just to draw the stack, and first one is the frame. Example, we are starting with the factorial. Yeah, the same only, fact of 4. So how it will be there? Each method time it has to call fact of 4. Fact of 4 means you know that 4 into fact of 3. So how it will execute? Fact of 3. Again you can write 3 into fact of 2. That is again a new frame is adding fact of 2. 2 into fact of 1. So again as a new one, fact of 1. So here this is the start top and it returns the value as 1. Returns the value of 1. So fact of 1 equal to this value 1, is it? So how we will write in the same statement? You can write like this, okay? For 5 more questions, like this, 2 into fact of 1 equal to 1. So total value is 2. This 2 belongs to which value, which method? Fact of 2 equal to 2. That means it will pass it here. So here 3 into 2 equal to 6. That means this is fact of 3 equal to 6. That 3 is passing the fact of 3. That is 4 into 6 equal to 24. So fact of 4 equal to 24. So in the variable result, fact of 4. So variable result, fact of 4 equal to 24. You can print the value fact of 4 as 24. This is the way you have to write for the recursions. Let's check this example. Show the dry run. So in this program code snippet, you can understand this is a method check, and here also inside the same method is calling. So this is a recursive concept, and which are the base case and recursive case. N equal to 1, return minus m minus minus. This is a base case, and this is known as the recursive case. Recursive case means a recursive function will be there. Base case means there is no recursive. It will terminate, is it? It will terminate the particular method. So you should write the dry run indicating all the values. So let's see how it will write. So I'm just drawing a stack. Yeah, just to draw a stack first. How we will do for the programs, how we will write the dry run for the program, in the same way we have to do. Before that, just check this stack, okay? Just checking to understand. Just drawing a stack. The last row or last frame. Yes, last row. That is, this is the first frame. Adding a first frame. This first frame. M and N are equal to 5. So we can consider both are M and N are equal to 5. So int M equal to 5, int N equal to 5. So the condition N equal to 1. So we can write here. No, the condition, it will comes to the else part. Here what it has to return plus M plus check of M comma minus minus M plus M. So in the first call, 6 plus M is increment operator plus check of m. M is, what is the value of m? M is updated as 6, comma, minus n. N is 5, minus n means 4, is it? Yes. So 6, comma 4. And here check of 6, comma 4. Again a method call, is it? Same. So we will add a new frame. Then check of 6, comma 4. Instead of m, 5 and 6, 5 and 5, we are having the value 6, comma 4. So again it will come and check the else part. Return plus m, that is 7 plus check of 7, comma n minus m, that means 4 minus 1, that is the 3. So this is the second frame. In the third frame, again the same method is calling. So frame will allocated or pushed 8 plus check of, have to write the proper name, CHECK. Okay, check of 8, comma 2. Then in the next one, again the method is calling. So 9 plus check of 9, comma 1. So here check of 9, comma 1, is it? Again one more frame is added, 9, comma 1, and we know 9 equal to n equal to 1, that is a base case. It reached the base case, return minus m minus. So what is the output of this one? Minus m is the value 9, so we will give the values minus 9. Okay, and next this minus 9 is passing to this minus 9 means what is the value? Actually it is the value of check of 9, comma 1. So how we will write? Equal to 9 plus 9 minus 9, that is minus 9 minus 9. 9 minus 9 equal to 0. Is it? 9 minus 9 equal to 0. Yes, this entire frame has given the value 0. And this belongs to which method? Check of 8, comma 2. So how we will write? 8 was the value there. So 8 plus 0. 8 plus 0 equal to 8. So this 8 is the value for this entire frame. That is, it is for the check of 7, comma 3. 7 plus 8. 7 plus 8 equal to 15. Is it? Yes, 15. Yes, 15. The next one, this 15 is passing to check of 6, 4. Check of 6, 4 equal to 6 plus 15. So what is the final value we are getting? 21. You have to remember, after the processing of each frame, the computer removes each frames. Okay, you just write like this for to finding the output in a ECV. You can do like this, and finally we will get the answer as 21. 6 plus 5, 15 equal to 21. So this method will return 21 as the answer. So when I show the dry run means you have to write the entire proper dry run and this output also, stack structure also. That is, let's see how to write. Show the dry run means you have to write first one m, n, then what is that method? Check of m, comma n, is it? Check of m, comma n. Then if the condition is true means, that is n double equal to 1 means, yeah, just I am writing the condition only. Okay, so the value return, it has to return minus m minus minus. Let's write in the red color. Okay, else for, sorry, if condition minus m minus minus, this is the base case. Else recursive part, what is the recursive part? Plus plus m plus check of m, yes, m comma minus minus m. So show the dry run means you have to write like this, dry run title, then write like this. Okay, so first of all, what is the value of m and n? 5. So in the first time, m and n equal to, first step, m equal to n equal to n. So how we will write check of 5 comma 5? You should write like this for the dry run, otherwise they won't give the mark. So it will check the condition. Condition here, if n double equal to 1. If n double equal to 1 means it should return minus m minus minus. Here it is false, so it won't return. It will come here in the else part. Plus plus m. What is plus plus m? M was 5, so it is increased as 6 plus check of 6 comma minus minus n. So it is the value 4. And you should draw that stack also. Just draw here and write this one. The first of 6 plus check of. So in the same way, small here you just draw. Okay, this is the first top, first frame. So 6 plus check of 6 comma 4. Then what is the next? In the next iteration, m is updated, is it? What is the value of m? M is equal to 6, n equal to 4. So check of 6 comma 4. The condition again, if condition is false, it will come here. Plus plus m means 7 plus check of 7 comma 3. So how you have to continue like this. Here I have written the dry run, the same concept from the reader. Call based on the call mn, check of mn. If both are m and n are equal 5 5, returns what are these values, everything. And after this, after the fifth call, it is updating us check of 9 comma 1, 9 comma 1 in the next call, that is in the sixth call, n is equal to 1. So it returns minus m minus minus. That means it returns minus 9 to the to call 5. Call 5 means this 9 1, check of 9 1. In this check of 9 1, minus 9 has returned. So 9 minus 9 equal to 0. That 0 value will return to the call 4, check of 8 2. Then it will returns to call 3, call 2, call 1. Finally, we will get 21. So this is the concept of dry run. You should write the dry run like this and draw the stack also. Show the output means just draw the stack and find the output, no problem. But dry run means you should write this dry run also, okay? So this is the concept of recursion. You should learn some concepts like Fibonacci, power, how to find the power of the value. These are using the recursive method. These are the common terms. Then sum of digits, then this binary search. These are the common terms. Common questions comes under the recursion. So practice more recursion concepts, okay? So here a Fibonacci series also, let's just discuss. You know that what is a Fibonacci series? It starts from 0 and 0 plus 0 and 1. Then 0 plus 2 values. This is first and or second. Based on two say digits, we are creating the Fibonacci numbers. 0 plus 1 1, 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, like this it will go. 5 plus 3 8, like this, is it? 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 2 plus 3 5, 3 plus 5 8, like this. This is the process. So how we can consider? We can consider that value. In an iteration cases means how we will write integer I equal to, I starts from 2 because 0 1 and this one is the third one. Third means first plus second, is it? Yeah. So we are writing from second 2, see I equal to 2, I less than 10. If you want to print 10 numbers means we can give 10 terms means 10 numbers, not 10 terms means we can give like this, I plus plus. This we are giving first third equal to, what is the concept? Third equal to first plus second, and we need to update the first third and is it first plus second. We are just writing first plus second. Then we need to print the third one. After printing the third one, swapping also we have to use, that is first is indicating as first is updating as second and second is updating as third. That swapping also we are just writing. This is the concept of Fibonacci series in iteration. Okay, in the way of iteration, how we will do, this is the concept. So how we will do in the recursion concepts. Recursion concept means if a person is giving n equal to 1, so what value? Only one value. Number of terms is 1 means which value it has to display? 0, is it? Number of 2 is number of n equal to 2 means how many values will be? 0, 1. Like this 2 value it has to display, is it? So just to declare a variable define a method fib of int n value, integer value we are passing. Inside that we have to give the base case and recursive case. So first of all, I am just giving the base case. N equal to 1 means, if n equal to 1 means what value it has to return? Return 0. In some case, else if n equal to 2 values are there. Else if n equal to 2 means what value it has to return? Return 1. And next one, what is the next case? Else if n is greater than 2, is it? More than 2 means, n is greater than 2 means how it will return? There we will use the concept. We will call the same method return using the recursive function fib of what value we need to give? We need to find n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2. N minus 2. Else we need to return what value we need to return? Return n minus 1. Sorry, return minus 1.